Hey, it's Rich back with you for another video. We have a 2008 Citation Mustang, serial number 150 we have for sale. We're going to take it up on a short cross country up to San Luis Obisbo, take you along for the ride.
220 Delta Kilo, be ready at 10.
November 220 Delta Kilo, Long Beach Tower, runway 30, clear for takeoff, traffic going 737 on a 4-mile final.
Clear for takeoff, 30, 220 Delta Kilo.
Southwest 1354, runway 30, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 30, Southwest 1354.
Clear track 133, turn left Foxtrot 4, contact ground.
Left Foxtrot 4 over to ground, clear track 133.
Takeoff power. Everything looks green. Airspeed's live, 70 knots. Go on.
Southwest 1354, traffic 11 o'clock and 3 miles, turning southbound. They're eastbound right now, Cessna 1000.
The rank gear
Looking
goes
for
up.
traffic, Southwest 1354.
Ups are up. Damper, climb power.
Traffic.
November 0 Delta Kilo, contact SoCal departure, good day.
Good day, 0 Delta Kilo.
3435. 3435, 345.
220 Delta Kilos out of 1200 for 3000.
Delta Kilo, radar contact, climb maintain 6000.
6000, 220 Delta Kilo.
I'm going to maintain 12000, maintain 250.
Okay, climbing off of Long Beach. This is a 2008 Citation 510 Mustang. We've done a lot of videos on Mustangs.
I don't want 2011.
And sold a bunch of Mustangs. And this one is serial number 150. It's got about 2,200 hours on it total time. Airframe and engines. So it's past the hot section. Hot section.
1622.
We're done at 1750 hours. It's in really good condition. It's basically factory new condition. So this airplane's an 08, so it's 16 years old. And factory interior, which is in really good shape. Factory paint, which is in really good shape. And the original Legacy G1000, so hasn't had any upgrades, which in my opinion is not a bad thing, because we know what the price is for the NXI upgrade, and you can only do it at Cessna, so it's easy to add or subtract value. You're doing the NXI upgrade. And
November 0 Delta Kilo, traffic 1 o'clock, 7 miles southbound out of 16 for 13 is a Alaska 737.
Okay, we're looking 220 Delta Kilo. 220 Delta Kilo has traffic in sight.
0 Delta Kilo, Connect LA Center, 135.5.
35.5, have a good day. 0 Delta Kilo. So again, easy to determine the NXI impact on the value or lack of NXI. And then we have engine programs. And this airplane has the JSSI comprehensive program, which has more benefits to it, or more coverage than the Pratt ESP Gold program or the Power Advantage Plus program. JSSI is a third-party engine program provider, and this is a fully funded JSSI engine program. So a really nice 2008 Mustang, serial number 150, and I would say it's in great condition for being factory paint interior.
1 miles
okay.
southbound is a
this airplane has
600 VFR.
had, keyword is had, hail damage. Back in, I think it was in 2012. This is a 2008, so four years after, and it had about 600 hours on it when it had the hail event. And you know, hail damage gets into a category of damage history, which I have a lot to say about damage history, a lot of thoughts on damage history, and I feel like I could do a whole video on that, but I'm going to try to keep it simple for this one. And my take on damage history, and or hail damage, one thing that important for me to say is, with respect to damage history, is I treat all these airplanes the same, with the same lens on damage, hail, whether I'm buying or selling them. And I think people that have dealt with me on this particular issue would say that I'm consistent. And said another way, I don't beat people up when I'm buying an airplane for damage history in a broad term, and I don't dismiss it when I'm selling one. And I think that's one problem that we have in the industry is, you know, people tend to talk out of both sides of their mouth. Not all people, but some people, on damage history, and then it creates uncertainties, and then everybody has to err on the side of, you know, being conservative on value loss or loss of value for damage history.
Delta, resume on navigation, thank you.
This airplane is a good example of how I would assess damage from hail. And if you go through the SESCOM and the logbooks on this airplane, see how the hail damage was dealt with was essentially remove and replace. Leading edges, de-ice boots, any skins that were damaged, everything was replaced with new by a Cessna service center. So to me, that's a lot different than hail damage that may have been repaired or, you know, maybe just painted or whatever. And so, you know, when you think about it logically, in this case with this airplane, everything that was damaged essentially was removed and replaced by a Cessna service center. So it's really back to its factory condition, in my opinion. And so therefore, to devalue this airplane because of this would be, I think it would be not a logical conclusion. Now, it's going to suffer some allowance for damage history for this because it's in the logbooks, but practically speaking, I really don't assign much devaluation in this airplane because of the damage event. Okay, so with this airplane, you know, obviously I'm flying it. I have no safety concerns about the damage history on this airplane, and I would not shy away from this airplane if I was going to buy it, and I personally wouldn't assign. My only concern about damage devaluation on it is when I go to sell it. And sometimes it's hard to educate people on that because everybody says, oh, it's damage history, you know. They dismiss it. So anyway, like I said earlier, I could talk a long time about damage history and how I view it. And if you're interested in maybe another video specifically on, you know, damage history and assessing value and evaluating damage history from logbooks, leave a comment. Maybe we'll make a video like that at some point. So we're at 22,000 feet here, and this is a kind of an example of a short hop on a Mustang. I think this trip was 150 nautical miles total. We're only going to 220 on the altitude. We're indicating about 235 knots, which results in a 330 knot true airspeed. And our fuel burn is about 860 pounds per hour. So we're north of 100 gallons an hour down at this low altitude. And I think sometimes people think these, you know, you get into a jet and it's harder to, you know, maybe justify short trips or, you know, need to focus on longer trips. And these Mustangs are really fuel efficient. I mean, at this altitude, I mean, it's burning more gas than it would up in the, you know, upper 30s or 41, but it's not horrible. And we're getting a nice true airspeed. And so the Mustang is very, I think, efficient at these shorter trips, even 100, 150 nautical miles. And I have a lot of clients that use it in a wide range of trips, so it shouldn't be pigeonholed as only a 3 to 500 nautical mile cross-country airplane. And 0 Delta Kilo's got the field site.
Citation 0 Delta Kilo, cleared visual approach, runway 29, contact tower 124.0 with you.
Cleared for the visual 29, and give me that tower frequency again.
Citation 0 Delta Kilo, 124.0.
240, thanks for your help, see you. Tower 220 Delta Kilo is with you, visual 29 for a full stop.
Ops, tractor, when needed, cross taxiway Alvin. 220 Delta Kilo, San Luis Tower, runway 29, continue, report a 4 mile final.
Continue for 29, we'll call 4 miles, 220 Delta Kilo.
0 Delta Kilo, runway 29, cleared to land, wind 050 at 3.
29, clear to land, 220 Delta Kilo. Too easy, they make these airplanes too easy to fly. Small power changes, see that's something you can even practice when you fly as a private pilot, is really, keeping
minimum.
Autopilot comes off. The track of the double check my gear and my flaps. Except it seems like people kind of
500
mismanage engines a little bit, pushing and pulling, and it's time to descend, pull the power back, push the nose down. The proper way to fly airplanes. You can, like I said, you can do that in a Cessna 150. You don't have to be in a jet to do it right. I'm ref plus about 10, so 50 feet. Power goes to idle. Touchdown's going to be right at ref, right on the 1,000-foot markers. Brakes. Mustangs have great brakes too.
0 Delta Kilo, make a 180 and back taxi runway 29er, and turn left taxiway hotel, cross taxiway Alpha for ACI.
Okay, 180, and I think it's a taxiway hotel to ACI.
Okay, that was a really nice flight from Long Beach to San Luis Obispo. We're going to go into the Spirit of San Luis restaurant and have some breakfast. And I didn't mention in the video, but this airplane we have priced at $1,950,000. Again, it's a 2008 Mustang, about 2250 total time. Really nice airplane, original condition. And if you have any questions about it, you can see it on our website or give me a call. Thanks for watching.